Hey guys, what is up? Zero here, and welcome back to Doki Doki Love and Literature. So in the last episode, I'm pretty sure, I think we chose Natsuki over Sayori to hang out to work on the project or to help with the festival, to help Natsuki with the festival and stuff, helping Sayori on Sunday. And I think we said we were gonna visit Sayori on Saturday to see if she's okay. So yeah, we're helping out Natsuki, and I think we were reading the group chat before we decided to text Natsuki or go to sleep. I don't fucking know what happened. It just said we texted Natsuki and the chapter ended. So honestly, I guess nothing interesting happened during those text conversations. But yeah, that's basically what happened last episode. We had to choose Natsuki over Sayori because it's a Natsuki mod. We don't really get choice here. So yeah, chapter 7, Storm Clouds. That's probably going to be a hoot. Nighttime. What's happening nighttime? What the fuck? Who's Kodaka 17? Is that us? Why is that our name? Alright, well, I'm confused why that's my name. My name should have been Afro Zero 17. I don't know why I would have to keep the 17. I don't really like that. Oh, come on. Mitsuki's so like you. No, she isn't. Shut up. She has pink hair and wears a red clip. Okay. She loves to bake and read manga. Yeah, but... And she's the shortest girl in the club. A pause. I am not short. I've been texting Natsuki for most of the night, and I had to admit, it's turned out better than I expected it to go. As in, it was going to be brief. One and done tsundere-style conversation. We went over what we were going to be doing, researching what recipes we wanted to use and how to style them. We made plans for her to come over this Sunday, which she seemed insistent that we do all the work at my house, which was sort of unusual, but I didn't complain. I mean, wouldn't she not want to go over to a boy's house? I'm sure she's heard now those kinds of manga plots go. Not that I would ever dare try anything of the sort. After figuring out all the details of who would pay for what, we broke out into general chat about our anime series and our favorite mangas. Who would pay for what? How would Natsuki pay for any of this? She doesn't have money. Unless she does have money. Who gives her money? Natsuki steals. She's a fucking bank robber. I don't trust her.
Oh no.
Also, I forgot to mention, Monica's here, but she's like tired, so... she doesn't say a lot, that's why. Oh, I already read that. I'm just saying, like, what? I ate up most of the wages. Since I'm shopping for all the supplies, we'll need to make the cupcakes. At the moment, we were waist deep in our original conversation at the club about the parfait girls, where I absolutely couldn't help notice the similarities between their culinary club and our literature club. I'm just saying, there's so many similarities that it's kind of creepy. Ever heard of a coincidence, dummy? That's kind of a lot of coincidences. Watched her typing icon flicker for a few moments. Hang on, okay? I paused. Sure, no problem. I put my phone down for a moment to stretch out, sighing in pleasure as I felt my spine relax and pop. I glanced outside and barely noticed the sun is mostly set, the street lights outside starting to glare brightly. Christ, have I really not moved since I sat down? I spotted the half-empty Ramune bottle and noticed how dry my mouth was. I quickly snatched up the bottle and downed the contents. Minutes passed, and not a single new message from Natsuki. I scrolled through our chat log and kept refreshing it, waiting for a new message to pop up. Nothing. I wonder what's keeping her. I glanced at the bowl on my desk, the drippings of soup from the dish now drying up. Might as well take care of that, I thought as I got up, scooping up the dish and empty Ramune bottles. What happened to her? She died! Natsuki's done. End of the mod. It's Sayori focused now. I walked downstairs and set the bowl in the sink, turning on the tap to wash it out. As I washed, my mind drifted to my plans for Sunday. How early I'd have to get up and then fetch her supplies. She said she wanted to come over in the morning. I have to get a nice wardrobe out and tidy up around here in general. I should probably ask if Mom and Dad are going to be home. I finished up the dishes and dried my hands off. I chucked the bottle in the trash and retreated upstairs. I plopped back down in my chair and looked at my phone again, feeling my heart sink when I saw there were still no new messages from her. Even so, there were several new ones that built up in the literature club chat. I tapped the notification. Okay, everyone. Hope you all know what you'll be doing tomorrow, because the next meet will be nothing but prepping for the festival. No poems, but make sure you have one to read for a presentation. Can't wait to see everyone. Noted. Thank you for reminding us. Thanks for the update, Mani. How many times did I tell you not to call me that? Aw, meanie Mani. Natsuki and Zero, did you two read this? I started to type. Yeah, thanks, Monica. Natsuki and I already figured out our plans. Looking forward to the festival. Well, she doesn't like being called Mani. That's weird.
Yeah, that's what I was laughing. She doesn't like being called Mani, but everyone calls me Mani.
Well, her Mani has two N's for some reason anyway.
There's a lot of ways to spell Mani. I used to spell it Monnie.
See, the one that they're spelling in this game, it's Monni, so that's why I'm like, huh. I mean, why is there two N's? If for her, wouldn't you just use one and just Moni?
I feel like it's because it's cuter
I don't
or
know.
something.
This thing doesn't make sense. It's cuter. It's cuter when the word's shorter. When there's no two N's. I feel like the two N's make it uglier. I swiped out the chat and checked Natsuki's chat again. Last active, 17 minutes ago. Sighing, I clicked my phone off and tossed it onto my desk. I ran my fingers through my hair and slowly swiveled on my chair to face my room, noticing how slightly dirty it was. It's only been 17 minutes, calm down. I could be eating food in 17 minutes, okay? Dirty clothes, even though, granted, we all know how this story's probably gonna go. Probably, obviously, something bad happened, so, but still. In reality, if it's just been 17 minutes, you probably shouldn't be freaking out. But since this is a visual novel, most likely Natsuki's dad just smacked her.
Oh.
Or something, I don't fucking know. Something bad has to happen. Dirty clothes slumped around, unorganized textbooks, and I'd still haven't emptied my waste bin. Certainly not the dirtiest room in the world, but it could use some tidying up. I got up from my chair. Guess I'll start cleaning. Soon a half hour passed. I felt myself grow worried. She's probably eating dinner or something. Yeah, her parents called her down to eat. But still, well, she at least would have texted me by now, right? Or maybe she's taking a shower or something. Or am I being too obsessive over this? Maybe. It's certainly nothing to worry about, at least. I could always talk to her tomorrow. My phone buzzed. I quickly picked it up and read the notification. New message from Natsuki. Almost hopping with excitement, I quickly tapped the message. Sorry, my dad was calling me. I'll talk to you later. See you tomorrow. Buy me at lunch. Don't forget PG. And just like that, her profile clicked offline. Something bad happened. He was like, get off your phone. Roar. That's Natsuki's dad's voice. Roar. He goes roar too. It's confirmed by me. I wrote the canon to this fanfic. I'm the fanfic writer. Hello, everybody. This is my fanfic. Sorry to spoil the surprise. I know. Monica, I'm sorry I never told you, but I write fanfics.
You're not the fanfic writer.
Okay, you know what? You're just
You don't know how to make. I don't think you know how to make fanfics.
I probably could if I wanted to, but I'm not going to. All I gotta put is the other that makes things happen and puts she said and he said and I said and then said.
Use those planners that the teachers always say to use before you write. You know those web planners?
What, the what? Oh god, you were lagging. You said something about planners?
Yeah, use the planners that the teachers always taught you how to use. Like the web planners.
I could, but that's lame.
And look up synonyms.
You're a cheater.
That's the key to writing story.
The rays of the morning sun peered in through my window, painful stakes digging through my eyelids into my eyeballs. I tossed in my bed, shielding my eyes from the light. Downstairs, the smell of breakfast wafted through my nose, the faint sounds of cooking oil sizzling and popping. My stomach rumbled, dreaming of eggs and bacon. My hands grasped out to my nightstand and picked up my phone, placing my finger on it to unlock the phone. First thing I saw was the row of dismissed alarms, one after another. My mind slowly started to spur. What the hell? What time is 9:22 a.m.? I shot up on my bed, panicking. Shit, I overslept! Class started well over an hour ago. Do Mom and Dad even know I'm here? They must think I already left, busy getting ready for their day. I threw my bedspread aside and shot off, rushing for the door. I listened in downstairs. The TV played, a male voice speaking in careful Japanese. I could hear faint, light music playing. And my mom and dad talking, but I couldn't make out their words. So they're here. Shit. Nah, whatever. They'll know I'm here once I head downstairs. Maybe Dad can even give me a ride to school. I turned to my drawer and started pulling out a clean uniform, having just fallen asleep in yesterday's attire. Oh fuck, are we gonna see my dad? That's a bathroom. I quickly buttoned up my blazer and went to the bathroom, combing my hair back into a respectable shape. I took a moment to check the rest of my notifications. I started quickly reading them and slipping away. I stopped. Hey, are we still walking together today? Getting time to go. 2 missed calls from Sayori. Oh no! Sayori thinks probably something happened to you. Oh well, you're probably still asleep. Hope you can come to the club today. I felt my head start to swirl. I completely left Sayori hanging this morning. Thank you, Maud. I really needed to be reminded of that. Fucking hell! How did I stay up so late trying to finish Parfait Girls? Even if it was a good volume, which it kinda was, now Sayori probably thinks I'm ignoring her or something. I mourned to myself, opening up her chat. I quickly hack out a message. Hey, I'm really sorry I didn't wake up to walk today. I've been waiting too long. Can I make it up to you with the cookies? I pushed send and shoved my phone in my pocket. Gotta remember to wrap up a few cookies from the fridge for her now. I slung my bag over my shoulder and left my room, quietly shutting the door behind me. Aw, that's cute. Give Sayori cookies. I walked downstairs. Rays of sunlight streamed in through the large wall-to-wall windows, glowing on the wood floors and furniture. On the table, I could see my father's laptop and suitcase, and my mother's various folders spread out. Tosan! It's my dad! Oh my god, is that Chad MC?
I was just about to say it's Kagan.
Oh my god, it's not just Kagan, it's respectable Kagan.
It's Kagan who is 30.
It's professional Kagan. To be fair, not gonna lie, coloring his school uniform to look like a suit was actually very smart. I like that, that's smart.
Yeah.
He actually looks like a young Japanese father now, actually. With the glasses especially, oh my god. This was a smart sprite edit. Zero? You're still here? Dad was a lean and polished man, and a little nerdy in appearance with solid black glasses and neatly combed hair. He was dressed in his usual formal attire, a blue suit blazer with a stark white dress shirt, fat red tie, and blue dress pants. He's here? I heard a soft female voice from the kitchen. Mom. Oh, let me send him a plate. I coughed. I overslept. Sorry, I was heading out right now. I moved to the door. Oh, my mother! To be fair, it looks pretty good for what they had. I don't know who the base of that is now. Because at first I was like, okay, is it going to look like Monica or like Natsuki or someone? Now I'm like, whose base is that? Is that Sayori's?
That's Sayori. What? How did you not know that? That's obvious.
Well, I mean, her eyes are like really like different. Like they changed her eyes and like her hair and everything. Okay, her bangs are still there at Sayori. It's still pretty good.
Changed a lot about her. That's Sayori's casual outfit with an apron and a few facial edits and hair edits.
Okay, yeah, that is her pink shirt. Yeah, but that's, I mean, smart enough. It's smart editing.
Yeah, it's good.
They did a pretty good job with that. My mom emerged from the kitchen, a steaming plate in hand. Nonsense! Eat! Can't have my son heading for his studies on an empty stomach, can I? My mom was a fairly short woman, about as tall as Sayori, I'd say, with a soft face and dazzling complexion. She had her black hair tied up in a small bun, a lightly grease-stained dull yellow apron wrapped around her. She was wearing a pink sweater beneath it, not yet changed into her formal attire yet. She held the plate and a tall glass of orange juice out to me, a smile on her face. I thankfully took the plate and drank and kissed her on the cheek. That Japanese? Here we go. Oishiso, arigato. I think I said that right. I set it down on the table in the seat to the left of my father, his attention returned to the television. I know arigato means thank you. I set my bag next to my chair and resigned. Well, I'm late to school anyway, and the school's stopping serving breakfast by now. Might as well eat. So I remembered about the cookies. I got up from my chair. What's wrong? She was hovering around the kitchen, cleaning it up for making breakfast. I stepped in the smaller of the kitchen and opened up the fridge. Nothing, Mom, just getting a little treat for someone. I plucked out a few chocolate chip cookies from the tray. I looked around, searching for a chilled coffee drink for myself. Ah, who's it for? I opened a drawer and pulled out a thin box of plastic wrap, tearing off a sheet. Oh, just Sayori. Aw, how sweet of you. How is she these days? You never talk about her as much anymore. How's her mother? I'd like to invite her over to tea like we used to. I paused, carefully thinking of my answer. Well, I'm not sure about her mother, but Sayori's been good. She's been walking with me to and from school these past few weeks. She's made me join one of her clubs at school, and it's been a lot of fun. Really? She seemed a little surprised. You didn't tell us you were in a club now. What club is it? A literature club. A literature club, huh? Dad overheard our conversation and glanced up from the TV. How interesting. You know, your old man was the president of his school's literature club. I wrote a short story that ended up going to the final level of a fancy literature contest in Kyoto, and I won an award the size of... He paused and gestured his form to the TV. That TV! He paused to take a bite of his eggs. Perhaps a bit impractically sized, but it earned me all the more bragging rights. He pulled his closed laptop sitting on the table towards him. Let me pull up the PDF I have. No, sweetie, spare him the story. You try showing off that story every chance you get. Mom laughed. Oh, come on now, Mickey. That story is something to be proud of. It brought one of the judges to tears when he read it. If our boy's in a literature club, he could benefit from taking a few notes from a pro. He grinned and turned back to his laptop, feverishly typing away. I smiled. Folding the wrapping up, I gently tucked it into my pocket. Mom bent down to put the pan away and focused on wiping down the sink. So, who's all in this club, Zero? Oh, well... I returned to my seat. Just myself, Sayori, and 3 other girls. You're the only boy. I'm hoping you know your manners. He gives me a stern look. I felt myself go hot with embarrassment. Of course! They've been really nice, and I've already written a few poems as a starting assignment. My dad nodded in approval. That's good to hear. Good to see my boy flexing his creative muscle. He returned down to his almost finished plate. I glanced up at the small flat-screen television. Prime Minister Shinzo Abe stood at the podium, microphones surrounding him, the news headline talking about a ceremony honoring the veteran members in his political cabinet. I watched a smaller news banner roll across the screen, detailing Japan world news. You know, is our dad a lawyer? Because I just realized he kind of looks like Phoenix Wright. I hope our dad's a lawyer. He really looks like a fucking lawyer. Please tell me he's a lawyer. My mind clicked back to Natsuki, and I realized I technically haven't even asked if it was okay for someone to even come over at all. Not like there would be a major problem. It's not like I'm throwing a party or something, but still. I coughed. Since I have you both here, I need to ask you something. Mom glanced over in the kitchen behind the counter. What is it? Dad shut his laptop, showing full attention. Well, our club is supposed to present in this big school festival thing next week, and everyone in the club is supposed to help with decorations and setting up our booth. I'm working with a girl who's supposed to bake snacks and stuff to offer to students, and I was wondering if... I gripped my fork. If it would be okay for her to come over on Sunday? If that's okay. Dad adjusted his glasses. What's the girl's name? Natsuki. Why can't you make the snacks at her house and you go over? I paused, not really having an answer. She just said it would be easier, because I live a lot closer for the school than her, and, her dad doesn't let boys over. An uncomfortable silence followed. Dad glanced at Mom, who said nothing, only shrugged to reply. How long will she be over? She wanted to come over in the morning and leave by, like, dinner-ish. We were gonna make a lot of stuff, so it would take a while. Mom took a seat at the far end of the table. Well, this is rather convenient. I paused, expecting her next words to be a shutdown of my plans. How so? My dad picked up his empty glass and plate, heading over to the sink. Well, your mother and I got word today that we were supposed to drive to Chiba for work training for some new equipment they're supposed to be implementing. We would be gone for the weekend, plus another day or two. We were going to tell you after school that you'd be on your own for the weekend, but here we are. I pulled up my mental map of Japan. Chiba, a port city, was about 15 miles or so from here. Same-ish distance from here to Tokyo. Maybe a 30-minute drive or so. I had never been, but I think Mom and Dad have been there a few times before for work-related stuff. So yes, you can invite this girl over. That is, on one condition. I braced myself. Yes? Dad looked at me, dead seriousness in his eyes. Can you promise to keep your hands to yourself? You know we can't afford to raise your child. I feel my cheeks go red. Dad! I practically shouted. Dad and Mom started laughing. Despite myself, I awkwardly laughed as well. Dad flickered down to his smartwatch. Oh shoot! It's getting to be around 10. He looked at Mom. I could drive him to school, then come back and we'll head out. Mom smiled. Sure, that gives me time to change. Dad stood up, pushing his chair in. Ready to go? I glanced down at my plate and realized I hardly touched it. Oh, sure, just, Picked up my fork and shoveled a cut up egg into my mouth, took a few bites from a piece of toast, and tore a chunk from my bacon. Let me put this away. My mouth was almost full. I picked up the plate and glass and headed to the sink. Dad chuckled, grabbing his keys from the shelf. Remember to chew, son. I quickly swallowed the mishmash of food, took a big swig of juice, and put it in the fridge. Walked back to the table and grabbed my bag. Let's go. Dad gave Mom a quick peck on her cheek and moved to the door. I hugged my mom. Hands to yourself, Zero. Mom. I muttered, blushing. Have fun at school. I released the hug. I like parents. MC's parents. That's cool. It's like we're a literature club where he had a dad, but we never saw him.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's kind of cool you get to see his parents here. That's something I've never seen from a mod. So that's kind of interesting. We gave a light wave, she closed the door behind us, hearing it clack and lock. We turned and started heading to the car. Well, here we are. Dad pulled the car up in front of the gate, idling in a stretch of empty road along the sidewalk. I picked my bag up and pulled it over my shoulder. My dad was adjusting the radio back to his favorite station, the political fireside chat. Remember what your mother said, Zero. Hands to yourself. I scoffed. Dad, I've never dreamed of doing anything forceful. He nodded. I know, we raised you right. To always look out for others. Just keep it in mind, and be courteous. Make her something to eat before she arrives. Tidy up a bit around the house. Be a gentleman. I smiled. Thanks, Dad. I stuck out my hand and he firmly shook it. Have a good day. See you by Tuesday. Mom and I will text you. I nodded and opened the door up, stepping out onto the road. I shut it behind me and gave a parting wave, watching my dad pull out and start to drive off. I watched his car zoom by and turned to walk towards the school. I punched in the code to open the electronic gate. It locks when school starts to keep students in and keep undesirables out, and stood back as it automatically opened. Started to walk up the doors and heard it silently click back to lock. I swung open the doors and walked through the lobby of the school, a 3-story modern architecture area with some extra support columns and lots of floral decorations. I pushed the main office and opened the door. Ugh. I have a strange feeling. They said they're going to be gone for the entire weekend, so I have a feeling when Natsuki comes over, we're going to learn about her father, and then we're going to be like, you can stay at my house for the weekend. And Monday. I have a strange feeling that's gonna happen. I don't know. Just got a feeling. A younger female student, looked like a first year, with a blue streak in her dark hair and a miffed expression on her face, stared down at her phone. She glanced up at me and quickly returned to her device. I walked up to the main desk. Hello, I need an admission to class, please. I politely said this to the receptionist, an older woman wearing a maroon office suit. She dropped open her chunky black laptop and started to type. Name? Zero Odaka. Student number? 0734. ID? I reached into my wallet and pulled out my school-issued identification card. She glanced down at it and handed it back, typing away. Reason for tardiness? I woke up late. She clicked her tongue. You should consider an alarm. I breathed in through my nose. I have one. It didn't go off. She said nothing, still typing. Was she writing a book or something? How long does it take to... A small black device on her desk buzzed, the red light shining faintly. A thin piece of paper slowly printed out, the school's emblem adorning the top. She waited for it to fully print and ripped it free, handing it to me. I gently took the paper. Arigato. What the fuck is that? Okay, let's try. Yoi ichi nichi o. The receptionist said nothing, typing away again. I sighed and nodded to the girl and returned to the lobby. Can we stop saying Japanese, please? Naturally, the hallways were deserted as class was already in session. I slowly walked past the closed doors, faintly hearing the conversations in each one. I listened to my shoes. Clack, clack, clack. Against the checkerboard, linoleum hallway. My current period, computer science, was upstairs. I quickly made my way up to the stairwell to the second floor and walked to class. I took a moment to check my phone a final time before hastily putting it in my bag. I took a deep breath before knocking on the door. I paused. You may enter, a male voice said. I turned the knob and entered the class. A dozen students' faces were looking up at me from their terminals, most returned to their computers when they recognized me. Just zero. Why do we need to learn all about all my teachers? That's the one thing about this mod. They give you too much information. Why do I need to know about Mr. Frink, my instructor? Is there any reason we need to know about Mr. Frink? Is Mr. Frink gonna come back in the story and save everyone? Like, you don't have to tell us everything. Mr. Frink, my instructor, was an Eastern European man, 40-something, with thin brown hair and thick black glasses. Thick black eyes. Be fucking scary. He was a demon. Mr. Frink can save us. He's a fucking superhuman. He was standing at the front of the room, a textbook in hand. He turned to me and gave me a polite smile. Ah, Mr. Odaka, how pleasant of you to finally join us. Let me try to give him a different voice. His voice was laced with slight annoyance. Tardiness was always looked down upon and views of disrespect to the teacher. I gave a light bow. My apologies, sir. My alarm clock failed to go off this morning. I pulled out the admission paper and handed it to him. He glanced at it, tucked it into his shirt pocket. I'd consider getting a new one. Please take a seat. We were finishing up our review paper from last class, due at the end of the period. I nodded and quickly walked to my assigned place. A sleek gray desktop computer sat, a wireless mouse and keyboard to match. I set my bag down and started powering it up. Beside me was Shinichi, one of my anime friends. He was typing away at his terminal with a billion different tabs open and white earbuds on. He glanced over to me and leaned over. Nice of you to show up, Zero, he whispered. Stuff it, Ozaki. I woke up late. Pulled out my binder. Too busy reading those erotic mangas, huh? He snickered. The login window popped up. I quickly typed in my credentials and logged in. Within a few seconds, my homepage popped up. I opened up my documents and clicked open my draft. I started to type. No, unlike you, I was up talking to a girl. Ooh, watch out everyone, we got a real charmer in our hands, he said, not looking away from his screen. A pause. So, who's the girl, huh? Anyone I know? I don't think so. I met her at a club a week ago. I paused. She's into manga. Cool. You should try bringing her to the anime club. We could use a little female company, he said jokingly. I laughed, keeping my voice quiet. What, and have you try to swoop in and be a creep? Not on your... Gentlemen? Mr. Frink's voice was stern and cold. He made a gesture. Work! We both nodded. Apologies, sir, Shinichi said, cutting me off. I was just refamiliarizing Zero on what we were doing. Mr. Frank sat down at his desk. He shouldn't need refamiliarizing. He should be working. He started to type away at his personal computer, ending the conversation. Shinichi looked at me. I shrugged. Whatever. He returned to his work. He continued to type. I really do love Shunichi. I hope he comes back and saves everyone. Just like Mr. Frink. I mean, I guess it's fine if you showed the MC having other relations with other people, but I'm just saying, like, we didn't need to know all about Mr. Frink. You could have just said, my teacher. You didn't need a name. Or we didn't also need to know he's 40. Just so much information. It's just randomly thrown at us. Like, that information's not gonna stick with me. The second period bell rang, and I quickly picked up the rest of my papers and shoved them into my bag. I quickly logged off my terminal and slung my bag over my shoulder, nodded to Mr. Frink, and headed out. Students already shuffling out of their classrooms, moving against and with each other to get to their class. I took a moment to glance down at my phone, greeted to a few notifications, including a message from Natsuki, which made my heart skip a beat. Went back to my chat logs. Sayori still hasn't opened my message yet. I let myself grow worried. She probably just has it turned off or something, and I'll see her at the... Through the heads of students, I can see a familiar swirl of coral pink hair with a vibrant red bow on top of it all. Sayori! Hey, Sayori! I call out to her, ignoring the looks of students nearby. I see her head turn, but quickly turn back. She moves away. Is she avoiding me? Maybe she just doesn't... Sayori! I called out a little louder. This time, she turns around fully. We lock eyes. I see a trace of fear in her eyes before warping to happiness. She waves and beckons me over. I smile and start to move through the students. She moves aside near a water fountain, separate from the rush of students. I rush to join her. She's sort of looking around, not really meeting her eyes to me. Hey, sorry about this morning. Did you get my text? I reach into my pocket for the cookies. Oh, She seemed to trail off. My, phone is dead, and unplugged in the middle of the night. That doesn't quite make sense. If her phone was dead, how did she call me this morning? Maybe it still had some charge left if she charged it for a little bit. No! She's clearly fucking lying! Like, are you honestly trying to be like, no, Sayori was clearly telling the truth there. Obviously, her phone had a little bit of charge. If her phone had a little bit of charge, she would tell you that her phone had a little bit of charge. Not that it died during the middle of the night. This man's an idiot! It doesn't matter. Pulled out the wrapped cookies and handed it to her. I got you something as a makeup gift. These were your favorite kind as a kid, remember? With white chocolate chips. She looked up at me. Her cheeks and eyes were slightly puffy red with a hint of concealer dashed around. It wasn't quite working, and it seems like a generous amount was used to try and conceal it. What happened? Wait, what? Conceal what? Wait, excuse me? Oh, her cheeks and eyes were slightly puffy with a hint of concealer dashed around. Okay, yeah, she was crying. Sayori, are you okay? Oh! She blushes, a hot wave of embarrassment washing over her. I think I'm sick or something. I'm not sure if I'll make it to the club meeting. I might go home early. I'll put it in the group chat. She gingerly takes the cookies and slips them into her blazer pocket. Thank you, Zero. You're always looking out for me. She gives me a hug and starts to walk away, but I put a hand on her shoulder. Sayori, were you crying? What's wrong? She almost shakes me off. I feel my heart shatter. No, I'm fine. I'm just sick. I gotta get to class. I'll talk to you later. She moves away, almost hastily walking down the hallway. In a few seconds, she turns the corner and disappears, leaving me standing in the middle of a near empty hallway, my mind spinning with worry. Oof. Well, Sayori is just, she's not doing the best. She's not doing the hottest right now, guys. And to be fair, it's such a surprise. I thought Sayori was going to be fine, I am so shocked that this is happening. This is so sad. Okay, obviously, I'm just not being a dick. I mean, we all know this is gonna happen, and obviously it's just... It's executed well. It was executed well. It was nice, But I still don't like that the MC is still fucking stupid and is like, no, clearly she's not lying to me. Maybe her phone had a little bit of charge. Like, he's still fucking dumb. Lunch period. Oh, okay, we're back to eating lunch with Natsuki. I guess this is just always lunch. I just don't know what to think at this point. Have you talked to her about it? No, not really, but I've been worried about her. Natsuki and I were sitting at the same spot we had at lunch yesterday, overlooking the main foyer. The rays of sunlight shined down on our table, reflecting on her short pink hair. It gave her an angelic quality, and she looked beautiful. She took a bite from her sandwich. I took a moment to drink some of my bitajiru stew. Has she said anything to you? No, not really. You? She shook her head, sipping her iced glass of water. Should we bring it up to Monica? She is the club president, and she's always told us to go to her if there's any problems. I paused, swirling my stew around my spoon. I don't know, because I'm not sure if there's even a problem at all. It could just be my head messing with me or something. I took another bite. Natsuki looked down at her half-eaten sandwich, a thoughtful look on her face. Well, maybe you should try talking to her first and get a better sense of what's going on in her head. You two are best friends, right? I paused. Were? She shook her head. Sorry, are. Well, yeah, friends since we were like 7. We grew up a block away from each other. Okay, so y'all would have hung out and stuff, right? And gone to each other's houses? Yes. So try seeing if you can go over today or tomorrow. Hang out, do stuff. Her cheek showed a trace of blush. Try to ask her questions about what's going on with her life and see how she feels. And if that doesn't work, just flat out say what you think is going on. I looked up at Natsuki. That's a great idea. I'll text her after lunch. Thank you for suggesting that. Natsuki smiled, enjoying the compliment. I tried to switch gears. Hey, also my parents said it was okay for you to come over on Sunday. I'll send you my address later. She smiled. Cool. Did you read Parfait Girls? I pulled out my bag and set it next to me. I unzipped it and pulled out the volume, damage-free. Yes, I spent all night reading it, actually. I ended up waking up late this morning. Natsuki laughed. You dummy, don't be like me and just do nothing but read all night. You could have just read it in the morning, I shrugged, putting it back into my bag. I know, but I just wanted to finish it. I took a sip of my Ramune soda, poured it into a glass. I have to admit, I thought it was going to be kind of boring, but it's actually really interesting. Can't wait to keep reading with you. I paused. Thank you. Natsuki blushed. Hey, don't make me feel weird about it. It's been fun reading with you. Every time I show it to people, they always brush it off and never give it a chance, so thanks yourself. Well, this is nice. The lunch bell rang and the cafeteria became alive with activity. I stood up and took out 2 trays and dumped them, then walked Natsuki downstairs. I sent my eyes to her and watched her walk away. I stepped outside the cafeteria and pulled out my phone and noticed there were a few text messages. There was some electrical chat from a few minutes ago. Not sure why I didn't feel my phone go off. Because it was a ghost! Hey, I'm really sorry, but I won't be able to make it to the club today. I'm feeling sick and I've asked to be sent home. Still gonna try to do my part for the festival. Hey, don't stress yourself. If you can't do stuff, just don't worry. We'll work around it. Thank you for telling us. Hope you feel better soon. How unfortunate. I hope you start to feel better soon, Sayori. So she's already going home. On a normal basis, I won't be seeing her till the day of the festival, 3 days from now. If this is something serious, I can't hesitate to wait. I was gonna be home alone anyway, so it's not like I need to ask permission from Mom and Dad to stay late somewhere. Pulled up the chat and started to type. Hey, is it okay if I go over to your house after school? Maybe we could watch a movie like old times? Her response is immediate. I'd like that. Now make snacks. See you then. I smiled and shoved my phone into my pocket. I was going to get to the bottom of this and make things right. I started and I walked to my next class. Ooh, we gonna make things right, boy? We gonna make things right? Hey, Chapter 8, Happy Thoughts. Oh no. That's not a good title. Anyway, that's what we're gonna have to end this episode. Oh my. So, things are getting spicy. Things are starting to, he's gonna actually go and, see, our MC, he's dumb, but at least he confronts the problems head on. I'll give him credit for that. Because, like, he does jump to stupid conclusions and just thinks stupid, doesn't actually think things through. But at least he's not gonna sit there and be like, well, I'll fucking know, so I'm just gonna sit here and not do anything about it. Like, he actually is like, I'm gonna go and do this, or I'm gonna go and ask. Like, he tries to ask and get it done. He wants a straightforward answer. He goes for it. It's just sometimes he needs to think things through, stop being stupid. And jumping to conclusions. That's my only problem with the man. But yeah, everything else, he's alright dude. But anyway, that is it. This chapter 8, there's about 2 chapters I think left of this mod, because I mean, I think, yeah, it's chapters 1 through 10, so there's about, yeah, 2 more chapters, so we're getting close to the end. Anyway, but yeah, this mod is still, in my opinion, pretty average. I mean, again, I'm not really, like, super into it, but I mean, I'm not really, like, bored that much by it either. It's definitely a mod. Like, it's average. It's got me somewhat intrigued, but I'm not sitting here like, I can't wait to record the next episode of Love and Literature. Woo! I'm more or less just like, alright, let's see what happens. Yeah. Who knows? I know someone said chapter 10 is where things get really good, so we'll see. I have to see what happens. Maybe the mod can save itself in the end. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you want to play this for yourself, the link will be in the description down below. And yeah. This has been Zero. Peace. I'm a sharpshooter at Paul's masquerade. I'm in both face and mind, all free for you to draw. I'm a sharpshooter.